really do a great job of making us look good. And I want to thank the kitchen staff for doing such a great job. Today we're going to be doing a Thai steak salad, and this is one of the dishes that I'm going to be demoing, and it's one of my favorite things to make for dinner because it's so quick. It's so incredibly fast, and you actually may not even have to wash a pan if you grill the steak. So how awesome is that, right? And it's got a really amazing lime dressing that's real sharp and tart, so delicious. And then we're going to be making some curry roasted carrots and lentils. And this has an orange yogurt sauce that is what really makes it special to me. And the lentil product that Melissa's has really helps to make something like this come alive. And, you know, it's what makes it okay to make it all in one pan, you know, like using something, a product that's already cooked like that. And roasting those carrots with the curry powder is just a match made in heaven. And then that little orange scented yogurt sauce on top is what kind of really brings it all together. But it makes a great vegetarian dinner. You won't even miss the meat. It's what I keep telling my husband. You won't miss the meat, honest, you know. And I don't think he really has too much. And then we're doing a roasted beet salad, and this is one of our favorite things to eat, whether we're making pizza and just want a salad to go with it, or whether we're just going to maybe make this salad and maybe throw some chicken on it, you know, at times when we're feeling a little bit more hungry. But roasted beets, who doesn't love those? If you grew up eating them boiled, you thought it tasted like dirt. And now that you can get great roasted beets, we're like, oh yeah, beets are delicious, and they're really good for us too. And the nuts and the oranges, oh my God, it's just a Festivus in your mouth. So I'm really a fan of that. And then we've got a cheesy angel hair pasta recipe that I'm also going to be demoing today. And this is just a really, really simple recipe where you're going to cook the pasta in some vegetable broth in the pan and then bake it. And writing this book, I had to come up with all these really a little bit more out-of-the-box ways of cooking pasta because we don't want to have to cook it in a separate pot, right? So it has to all be in the one pan. So cooking the pasta, whether it's dried or fresh pasta, in some like flavorful broth makes a lot of sense. I mean, you really end up with more flavor. And it also keeps you down to just the one pot thing, which, all good. And we're just going to cook this stovetop and then throw it in the oven just to melt the cheese on top, and it's amazing. And then last but not least, we've got some deviled roasted chicken with bacon and Brussels sprout hash. And so in order to get those Brussels sprouts cooking, you just chop them down a little bit. It speeds things up, right? You know, you want to cook a whole carrot, it's going to take all day. You want to cook little pieces of carrot, it takes a couple minutes. So that whole idea of just kind of speeding this process so that we can get all of these recipes in this book made and on the table in under 45 minutes. And many of the recipes are a little bit less. But another one of my favorite things about this book is the incredible use of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and which are like everywhere now. So it isn't just chicken breasts that we're looking for when we want something quick. Now we can do chicken thighs too, which are so much more delicious. I've made converts of so many of my friends whose husbands are like, I only want chicken breasts. I don't. I'm like, just make them some thighs, okay? Just make them some thighs, and you're going to change their minds. Plus, the breasts are so big, you know, like with the thighs you can portion better. And so I actually had to force myself to make a couple of chicken breast recipes because I just wanted everything to be chicken thighs. They're so much harder to overcook too, you know. They're still delicious even if they're a little bit dry. So that's kind of the story of the food that we're going to be eating. Oh, not to forget dessert. And the dessert tonight is from my book Sweet and Tart, which came out a few years ago with Chronicle Books. And it's a citrus cookbook. And it's just mostly desserts made with citrus, but some savory things as well. And these are coconut cupcakes with a lime curd in the center.
Right. Our friend is back, Carla Snyder. For many of you, it might be the first time. But Carla's actually been very busy. And let me give you a little bit of an introduction about Carla. After a semester studying in Europe, it became obvious to her that a large portion of the world didn't eat to live, but lived to eat. Yeah. That's my motto. With a BA in journalism in hand, she began a 30-year career So that makes you like, what, 32 now?
Yep.
Okay. So at the age of 2, she initially taught herself from her father's discarded gourmet magazines, which influenced her to who she is today. Carla is author of 9 cookbooks. We had her here for her 8th, and also kind of a sub thing with the desserts, with the citrus book as well there, this is a great dessert I just had. I'm on my first one. There's plenty of room for a couple more there. And actually one of her books was nominated by James Beard, the big book of appetizers that she co-wrote with Meredith Deeth, another good friend of Melissa's and here and mine. She's the mama for 4 and half grandbabies, 2 of them which she babysits 2 days a week. So must be hard to coordinate that and cook all at the same time.
I actually cook every day I have the kids because I send food home with them for dinner. So I feel like, I gotta make dinner anyway, so there you go.
That's why you're getting to see your grandkids a lot.
Hey, they bring them all the time.
You, huh?
Yep.
So
make us dinner.
That's good. It's all in the family there. I truly believe in that because, when you're growing up and you live in a household that goes out to eat, that's what you end up doing. But if you live in a household that spends time around the kitchen, like being one of the best areas and memories is being in the kitchen or being sitting at the table and enjoying a meal, I think that's what it is all about. Between writing cookbooks, teaching, and sitting for the kids, Carla also works with Heinen's grocery chain, which is a huge chain out of the Cleveland, Ohio area there as well, developing recipes, photographs, and consulting. For Carla and the thousands of students she's taught over the years, the kitchen is what brings life happens. But ironically, the chore of getting dinner on the table every night was a constant dilemma. Her solution was a trio of one-pan book, helping home cooks feed their families in a healthy and less stressful way, with the one pan, 2 plates, and the one pan, 2 plates vegetarian, suppers, which she was here for 2 years ago. And now her new release here today, which you ate from today, the one pan whole family, more than 70 complete meals, is a work close to her heart and a love letter to her kids and anyone, young and old, who would like to get back to the basics of feeding their families more freshly cooked meals and less processed ingredients. Our guest today, having her back, Carla Snyder.
Hey, thank you, Robert. It's so nice to be here at Melissa's and thank you again to Robert for having me and the wonderful kitchen here who made me look so good, with that food today. And it's just so nice to have a chance to talk to all of you food professionals as well. And thank you all for coming. This book is a near and dear to my heart because I've been a cooking school teacher for over 25 years, and it's just so important to me to help people to get dinner on the table and for people to be healthier because they're eating better food and less processed food. And when you eat in a restaurant or when you get takeout, you don't know what's in that food. Like, you have no idea of knowing. My husband and I just did a Mediterranean cruise, and it was wonderful. And 11 days on the boat, blah blah blah. But I couldn't wait to get home and eat my own food. I really was just getting sick and tired of eating a lot of food that I didn't know what went into it, and I wanted to taste the taste that I wanted to eat. And I caught myself constantly asking for extra pieces of lemon, or can you not just salt and pepper? Can you bring me lemon? Can you bring me hot sauce? And I'm trying to make the food taste the way that I wanted to taste at the table.